Welcome to the deep dive. Today we are putting aside the big theoretical debates about AI,
Right.
and we're going straight into what's tangible. We've got this fascinating stack of sources outlining 15 specific real breakthroughs that are happening, well, right now.
Mm,
The kind of stuff that isn't just a promise, it's already changing things in ways most of us haven't even noticed.
that's right. And our mission today is really about synthesis. I mean, these 15 breakthroughs come from just wildly different places.
Totally different.
You've got consumer tech, molecular chemistry, neuroscience, even deep space exploration. And what's really surprising is just how quietly some of these huge shifts are happening.
So we're going to distill it all.
Exactly. We want to pull out what you absolutely need to know about how AI is, fundamentally re-engineering our daily lives and also the pace of science itself.
It's a massive scope. I mean, the sources go from what happens inside your brain all the way to what happens inside a next-gen battery. So let's unpack this logically. Let's start where AI is immediately optimizing things for you, the listener, in your daily bubble. So safety, health, and home.
Okay, so first up is what we're calling the quiet guardian, the AI scam shield. In a world where deep fakes make impersonations scarily easy, well, the defense has to be just as smart. This is our first breakthrough.
And it really is an arms race, isn't it? But it feels like the good guys are finally scaling up.
They are.
The sources detail how modern systems like, say, Google's latest call screen or Samsung's Galaxy AI are using real-time detection.
Right.
And it's not just spotting known scam numbers, it's spotting the deepfake voices themselves, the scripted patterns.
That urgent tone, yeah. The whole, you need to pay the IRS right now trick. It catches that as it unfolds.
Well, this is already working.
Oh, absolutely. This is not some future where a company like NTT Docomo in Japan is already blocking thousands of these really sophisticated scams every single week.
Yeah.
All because the AI can analyze vocal cadence, emotional tone, and the actual words all at once. It stops the harm before a person even has time to panic.
Okay, so from personal safety, let's move to sustenance. The smart fridge.
Right.
We've all joked about fridges that can order milk for you, but this is way beyond simple inventory.
It is. This is really sophisticated computer vision meeting dietary optimization. The latest systems like Samsung Food AI or LG's ThinQ recipe. They use internal cameras to instantly recognize all the ingredients, even, leftovers in some random container. And then it checks them against expiration dates.
Okay, but why is that such a game changer? It's not just about stopping food waste, is it?
No, not at all. The AI then suggests recipes based on parameters you can set.
Like what?
Budget, calories, your personal tastes. But the really practical part is a 2025 update they mentioned. The system will actually sync with your local grocery delivery service.
Oh, wow.
And it just puts together a shopping list of what you're missing for the recipe you want. It just does it. No more 5 separate steps.
That brings us pretty naturally to fitness, the AI form coach.
Yeah.
This uses something called pose estimation tech, which was originally developed for self-driving cars, right?
Exactly. And they're just applying it directly to your body's movements. So systems in apps like Tempo, they track dozens of your specific joint angles in real time.
So it's not just counting reps.
No, it's analyzing your posture. It'll immediately correct you if your knees are collapsing during a squat, for instance. It gives you that instant feedback.
And how accurate is it?
The credibility is actually remarkable. A 2024 Stanford study found this type of AI motion tracking is 93% as accurate as a professional human trainer at spotting errors.
So you're getting expert guidance without the huge cost or the scheduling hassle.
Exactly.
Okay, let's transition now. Because we're leaving the daily life stuff and moving into the truly mind-bending part, the intersection of AI and human consciousness. This is where it gets really interesting.
Let's start with a breakthrough that honestly sounds like pure science fiction. AI dream decoding. This is research coming out of Kyoto University.
Yeah, the sources describe researchers taking fMRI brain scans. So basically, blood flow in the brain while people are sleeping or just imagining things.
Right.
And they train a generative diffusion model on that data.
And just to clarify for everyone listening, a diffusion model is the same kind of AI that creates those amazing high-res images from a text prompt.
Right, like Midjourney or DALL-E.
Exactly. But here, the model is working backwards. It's trying to reconstruct the image from the noisy signals of the brain scan itself.
So they are translating pure thought into a picture, an abstract, fuzzy picture, but still.
This is the first time machines have ever visually interpreted human mental imagery.
Yeah.
It's the absolute closest we've ever come to making a thought a reproducible image. It's profound.
And alongside decoding images, we have restoring communication.
Yes. The next one, our sources label it as research point number 11, is the AI resurrection of lost voices. This is critical work from UCSF and UC Berkeley.
And the way they trained it was, it's pretty unique. They used old video clips of the patient from before they lost their ability to speak.
And then they use electrodes on the brain surface to capture the signals when the person silently tries to talk.
So the AI is mapping the intent to speak.
To the person's original voice, not some generic synthetic voice, but their voice. The result in the trials was this near-natural speech in real time that even had the speaker's original accent and tone. It's
Right.
restoring a piece of their identity.
And that links directly to the next point, number 4 in our sources, the non-invasive brain-computer interface, or BCI.
Right. We hear a lot about implants, Neuralink and so on.
But this is different.
This is moving toward non-invasive methods. This specific work from UCLA used EEG caps, so just reading electrical activity from the scalp.
And what did they achieve with that?
A significant performance boost. Participants could control robotic arms and cursors up to 4 times faster than previous non-invasive systems. So while implants have more bandwidth, this proves that the more accessible tech is getting really, really fast.
Okay, let's shift gears completely now. Away from the body and looking at AI as a pure super researcher operating at a massive scale.
Right. And our next cluster starts with AI archaeology and lost city mapping.
This one, for me, just perfectly illustrates the efficiency game. I mean, instead of years hacking through a jungle,
Right.
the AI processes terabytes of terrain data satellite LiDAR overnight.
Yeah. Researchers from NASA and the University of Sydney trained models to spot these tiny, subtle changes in the ground that suggest there were man-made structures there.
And that's how they found those huge Maya cities under the Guatemalan jungle.
Exactly. And it's being used globally, too. It's revealing forgotten settlements in the Amazon and Cambodia, places that have been totally invisible for centuries. We're literally rewriting historical maps in real time.
This acceleration of discovery extends right into pure math, AI-accelerated math.
Yeah, and this is where AI moves beyond just synthesizing data and actually starts to reason, formally.
The prime example is DeepMind's alpha geometry. This thing was trained to solve advanced geometry proofs, and they tested it on questions from the International Mathematical Olympiad.
And the result?
It solved 25 out of 30. That's a performance level on par with a human gold medalist.
That's more than pattern recognition. That requires symbolic reasoning.
Absolutely. And the NSF is apparently now using similar systems to help with formal proofs in physics. So AI is learning to solve complex logical problems the way a human would, just at machine speed.
And that speed is the critical factor. It leads us right to the next breakthrough. AI for novel materials and battery discovery. This is maybe the biggest disruption to R&D timelines in our entire stack of sources.
That 80-hour statistic just jumps off the page. Microsoft and PNNL use a generative AI to predict, simulate, and identify a totally new material for solid-state batteries in under 80 hours.
Let's just put that in context. Traditionally, that whole process, from theory to a first lab test,
Takes what? A decade?
up to a decade, with dedicated human teams. So this isn't just speeding things up, it completely collapses the R&D timeline. Innovation becomes a competitive advantage, not a bottleneck.
And this is happening across the board. MIT engineers used a similar model to design an ultra-reflective paint that cools surfaces. And companies like Toyota are testing these AI-suggested battery materials right now.
So let's apply that same massive computational power to the planet itself. AI for climate modeling and digital Earth twins. We are talking about predictive power on a scale that was just impossible before.
NVIDIA's Earth-2 supermodel. It simulates the entire planet's atmosphere and oceans in 3D.
Right, and they're getting down to kilometer-level precision. That's vital for forecasting extreme weather events way faster than the old grid models could.
And Google's model, GraphCast, also showed huge promise. It outperformed conventional forecasting on over 90% of weather variables.
And the practical application is that these digital twins of Earth let city planners run these rapid what-if scenarios.
So you can test a response before a disaster even strikes.
Exactly. It vastly improves planning and response times.
And applying that same idea of autonomy to extreme distance brings us to AI and space exploration.
Yeah, which is crucial when you're dealing with hours-long signal delays.
This is already in use, right? NASA's Perseverance rover.
Yes. It uses an AI navigation system called AutoNV. It lets the rover pick its own path on Mars without waiting for commands from Earth. It saves hours of operational time every single day.
And the European Space Agency is doing something similar.
Their OPSAT is testing autonomous software for in-orbit operations. So detecting space debris, optimizing the solar panel angles, basically cutting down on expensive human intervention and making the satellite last longer.
Okay, let's group our final set of breakthroughs, the medical and the molecular. These all really emphasize how AI is engineering life and just slashing those incredibly long development timelines. Let's start with AI-driven gene therapy.
Companies like in silico medicine are using deep learning to predict exactly how a genetic edit will behave in a patient's system before it even leaves the computer.
And the timeline improvement is just like we saw with material science.
Exactly. An AI-designed fibrosis drug from in silico went to clinical trials this year, and it cut the traditional discovery timeline by over 80%. This kind of rapid, personalized screening is it's critical for the future of medicine.
And for immediate diagnostics, there's the AI-powered cardiac imaging lens.
This is a device from Stanford and Mayo Clinic. It's a tiny camera lens on a catheter, but its entire operation is guided and interpreted by an AI.
And the benefit there is that it overcomes a human limitation. It can spot the really subtle, early-stage plaque buildup inside arteries that standard imaging just misses.
And the clinical studies show it drastically improves early detection. It has a potential to save thousands of lives a year by catching heart issues before they become, acute events.
Which brings us to the thing that underpins all of this, our penultimate point. AI-driven chemical and drug discovery. This is generative AI meeting the periodic table.
Yeah, platforms like DeepMind's GNOME, or Atomwise, are using these huge neural networks to predict chemical stability and propose totally new compounds. The scale it's hard to even grasp. GNOME alone discovered over 2.2 million new stable materials this year.
And these aren't just academic exercises. These are the building blocks for new semiconductors, for clean energy, for new drugs. The AI pipeline can find a viable drug candidate in weeks instead of years. It's supercharging the entire process. What an incredible journey. I mean, from decoding abstract dreams and resurrecting lost voices, all the way to designing molecules that will power our future.
It really confirms that AI isn't just one single thing. It's a foundational technology for almost every field.
Yeah.
But the final, most significant long-term shift, the one that ties it all together, is our last point. AI-enabled ambient intelligence.
Ambient intelligence. It sounds like something out of a futuristic movie, but the sources frame it as something subtle, almost invisible.
It's the definition of frictionless living. It's when the environment itself, your home, your car, your office, is embedded with tech that just quietly senses, learns, and adapts to you.
So smart lighting that adjusts to what you're doing, thermostats that predict when you'll be cold.
And devices that coordinate without you even having to ask. Yeah. The crucial detail here is that these systems are now being powered by local AI models, not constantly relying on the cloud. Companies like Amazon, Google, Philips. They're building this future where AI doesn't live on your phone. It lives around you.
It's an adaptive living space.
Precisely. And that shift from a tool on a screen to an intelligence in the environment, it leads us to the ultimate question. If AI can collapse R&D timelines, finding a new battery material in 80 hours, or finding a lost city that no human eye can see, the very nature of invention is changing.
So if AI is responsible for the invention process itself, designing compounds and finding proofs that would take humans decades, where does that leave us? How do we define human intuition and creativity in the sciences that AI is supercharging?
It's a huge question. The role of human direction, curiosity, and ethical framing. It becomes more important than ever, even as our tools get exponentially more powerful.
A fascinating place to leave it. Thank you for joining us for this deep dive.